Hey everyone, I hope that you are doing well. Many thanks for your recent love and support on this channel. I'm so humbled and I'm so grateful highly for the support and the increase of subscribers that has been on this channel. I can't believe that we started with 800 not too long ago and now we are over 850. I don't take this lightly as a business. We really appreciate everyone's comments, contributions, likes, shares. We appreciate you all and we are truly looking forward to getting up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which I do believe is very feasible. Hopefully even before the summer ends as well. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I really hope that you are enjoying your 2024 so far and that the writing journey is treating you all very well. It would be great to know where you are listening from. So please do leave the countries down below in the comment section. So I'm based in the United Kingdom and it will be great to know where you are based as well. Moving on, in today's video, I want to talk about a very important topic that at times can be overlooked, and it is about how to avoid overcomplicating your book writing journey. Now, we know that writing is truly a journey. It's not a sprint, it's not a race, it's a process. And when I think about people that write, what I'm really looking at is the context behind the story, the purpose, the plan, the structure, and what it actually means to them and how it's going to benefit those who are going to read it. Now, when it comes to overcomplicating your writing, it's where overthinking comes in, or you feel like other people's opinions of what you should do are higher than yours, or you don't have a say. And it is so important that as writers, and professional, established new writers for that matter, we don't get to that place where we are mentally trapped in the opinions of others, because it then leads to writer's block. Now, one of the things that as a business we love to encourage our authors to do and to remember is to know their target audience. One of the best ways to avoid overcomplicating your book writing journey is to narrow down who your target audience is. And remember that your book is not going to be for everyone, but it doesn't mean that your book will not be a success in the hands of those who are going to read it. We don't know what the next couple of years will bring for authors, whether self-published or traditionally published. But what we know is that books are consistent and they leave a legacy for a lifetime. Unfortunately, one of our authors that we published a book in 2021 passed away. And it was such a shock that over 3 years ago, she's published her book with us and now she's no more. And I'm going to put her book down in the description bar below for you to read more about it. Now, this woman had a vision for her book and for those that she believes will be encouraged. Not only did she leave a legacy for her book, she took the time to articulate her words well. She got the relevant feedback from her loved ones, and therefore we were able to structure it and enhance it in the way that it is now. I'm so proud to say that she's actually one of our eldest authors to date, and may her precious soul rest in perfect peace. And this is what legacy is about. That book that you publish, people will remember you for that. You've got something tangible to give to the world. Now, don't allow the overcomplications of writing a book to impact you. It is so important to remember this. We should never get to a place in our lives where we become so frustrated about the process. When a book is meant to be written with ease. The majority of the books that I've written in the past have been written with ease because they are mainly based on my personal life's journey. But it's also giving back wisdom and advice and encouragement for other people who also may be in a similar journey like I am. And as most memoirs or biographies, books are, that's what it's about. It's your story. And that's what makes your book so powerful. Because no one can write your book the way you do. No one can share the story of what you've been through the way you can. You are the only one that can do it. And I really want you to hold on to this rather than overcomplicating it and thinking Let me add more because I want my book to be lengthy. It's not just how many pages or the width or the length of the book that matters, but what truly matters is what is written in that book and how it's helping your readers. Remember that your book is a solution to your target audience. When you overcomplicate things, you have to start over again and again. You're re-editing the process again. You have to find ways to make sure that every chapter flows. And that's very important when it comes to structure. And at some point, I will do an up-to-date video about how to structure your book effectively. Because we all have great ideas, but when they're all jumbled up, it can be very difficult for your target market to identify, what is this book about? And you don't want to confuse your readers. So when it comes to identifying what can overcomplicate your book, you need to take the time to brainstorm your idea. Whether it's about you or not, you still need to take your time to write bit by bit. What do you want the outline of the book to be? Have you got an introduction? Have you got all your chapter headings? Have you got a conclusion? Have you got a bibliography or a reference page? Have you done it in that order? Have you got a preface? Do you want someone to contribute to the foreword? So many things that you have to consider when it comes to a book. And speaking of a foreword, actually, I don't believe every book needs to have it, but I know it does add extra value. And it really brings out the beauty of books, having someone to contribute on behalf of the book as to why people should read it. Again, it does depend on the nature of the book. Some books don't need forewords, but for most non-fiction books, there are foreword writers. And that is really encouraging. Someone that you can trust, someone that you believe can advocate for your book. That's a great feeling. And therefore, that person will be able to help promote the book further. When you overcomplicate things, it could also mean that you're doubting the process. You're wondering, will anyone read it? Is it worth it? Most times, the greatest opportunities that come for books to be acknowledged is when you least expect it. I remember in 2022, I won Christian Book of the Year awards. And it blew me away, having my own plaque. And that encouraged me. And it's continuously encouraging not only myself, but many other writers and authors to believe that they will be acknowledged for their writing. And I'm telling you this now, you will be acknowledged for your writing. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but one day you will look back and you will say, I am so glad and grateful that someone has acknowledged my work. I'm so glad and grateful that someone has seen the value in what I'm providing to the community. Every story matters, whether it's coming from a health perspective, a family perspective, a health perspective, a business perspective. They are all important because everyone is in different seasons of life. You may be in a season right now where you are so at rest and at peace that you can talk about that story to someone who is living a chaotic lifestyle, or those who have mental health issues, or people who are struggling with their self-esteem. Your book about peace can encourage them to be at rest with where they are and know that there is hope for a better tomorrow. Or perhaps you've been through a certain illness that nearly took you out and suddenly you've healed from it and you can now share that story in confidence to help other people overcome what you once went through. These are ways to overcome those complicated ways of writing by sharing your story authentically. And this is what we stand for as Authentic Worth, bringing worth back into you through storytelling and book writing. That's what we are about. The pain that you go through can be turned into purpose. You don't have to go through this journey alone. No one in this life has to go through anything by themselves. And that's why we've been able to create extra services such as one-to-one accountability coaching sessions and our monthly memberships where we can be a community and grow together. As a first-time author, when you don't have people around you, it can be daunting. But having writers with you, having people who can help you on the journey is so important. And that should never be underestimated. Because doing this author life by yourself is not the way. Remember, I spoke about the beauty of brand and book collaboration and partnering with authors who are in your field. And even those who may not necessarily be in your field, you can learn a lot from them. You can learn from an aspiring business owner that wants to write a book about their journey in business. And if you've written a book about your journey in business, that's already a win-win. So what more can you do to avoid overcomplicating your book? By building relationships with others, whether that's online through social media, whether that's offline through email marketing, whether that's going to in-person networking events or virtually online meeting new people, whether it's being able to step out of your comfort zone and meet other people and introduce yourself. You don't know what people need. Whether you've written one book or 5, out of them all, someone will pick one and they will say, this book is for me. You think about the journey of how to avoid the overcomplications of writing a book. It takes time for you to understand the way you write. Are you giving yourself grace? Are you giving yourself the patience to do what needs to be done? Are you taking breaks? Are you going to writing retreats? Are you attending workshops? Are you in a membership community? Are you being accountable and responsible to your own journey of writing? Or are you just staying in the same place expecting a different result to occur? The writing journey is beautiful. And even though it's not meant to be rushed, if you want to do better and if you want to expand, then why not have people to co-author with you? My last few books, I asked people that I knew specifically to contribute to these books. The Becoming Woman is a book that I wrote about transitioning from the season of singleness to intentionally courting. And I asked a few men who are single, in relationships and married to talk about what it means to be a becoming gentleman in today's society. And particularly for the ladies, you will be interested in that. You will want to read about what I can learn from a man if I'm looking to be in a relationship. And even married couples can learn from those who've contributed from a marital perspective. And then my second book, Confident Face, I also asked 2 of my friends to talk about their skincare journeys and their experiences with breaking out. And as women in particular, I know how uncomfortable it can be to talk about your skin. Whether you had acne, whether you have spots, whether you have blackheads, breakouts, it's not the most comfortable. And that's the reason why I wrote this book, to acknowledge the fact that there are women out there who do suffer from this skin condition. But we don't need to hide it and overcomplicate it. We need to speak about it and let it out. And let people know that there is hope. Even if people are not ready to share their story, they can be encouraged to know that they are not alone. Whether they take their time to read the book in their room and tears start falling down from their eyes, that's a sign of healing. Like, whew, I'm not the only one going through this skin condition. So never overcomplicate your book by thinking, will anyone read it? Will anyone be interested? You will be so surprised. Sometimes people may not need what you provide at this moment in time, but they will remember you and your story. And therefore, this leads me on to character. How do you present yourself when you're around people? The saying goes, people bite into people, and I believe that. When you're a good person, when you're a nice person, when you're relatable, when you're humorous, because listen, we need to laugh in this life, you know. If you're someone that is down to earth, of course people can relate with that. But if you're just in your own bubble, just doing things your way and not asking for help, not even being interested in getting to know others, how would people want to know you? And how would that be an opportunity for you to expand your network, your book, your stories? You could have a great book, but Probably you're not marketing it out there or you're not telling people about it, but you took the time to write it years ago. Don't ever hide your story. Even if to other people it doesn't make sense, it's not going to make sense to everybody. And that is what is going to save you precious time to not overcomplicate your writing journey. Learn how to appreciate the fact that your book will never be for everybody, and that is perfectly fine. It's even better for you to know who your book is for now than trying to figure it out later and causing headache. We don't like that. Even as a business, we're very intentional to remind our authors, please remember why you wrote your book. Remember, what do you want people to gain from reading your story? Don't overcomplicate it by trying to target everyone. We can never please everyone in this life. It's a lot of work to do that. It's not worth it, and it's not worth your mental well-being. So I'm really hoping that this video has encouraged you and has positioned you to know how to avoid overcomplicating your book writing journey. Build those relationships with those who are showing interest in you. Ask them about what their book is based on. Let them see that you are interested in them. Don't just talk about yourself. Ask them questions. Be bold enough to ask for a collaboration. Collaborations right now, more than ever, is becoming so popular. And we are all here for the collaborations, especially with the authors that we have published their books. Of course, we have to give them priority. But regardless, we still are open to collaborations from people that have powerful and profound stories that relate to the seasons that we are in. That we have to give them opportunities to shine, use their voice, or in other words, finding your voice as a writer. Some people know their voice as a writer very well, but there are other people who are still trying to find the way. So I want this video to encourage you and to remind you that you have what it takes to avoid overcomplicating your book writing journey by understanding key, number one, knowing who your target audience is. If there's anything that has saved me from trying to target and reach so many people, is knowing my audience. And that has given me so much peace. From my first book, It's Time to Heal, to my 7th book, The Becoming Woman, I've seen the different people that have bought each book in different seasons of life. And I'm going to also give you an opportunity to read more about the books that have been published. And I'm going to leave them in the description bar below for you to check out in your own time. I'm so glad to be sharing my journey with you and also to give back to the writers community on how they can improve their journey into writing as well. So thank you very much for watching this video. If there are any topics that you would like me to discuss further, as always, please leave them down in the comment section below. If you are also in a season where you want to write your book but you don't know where to start, please drop us an email at info@authenticworth.com and we would love to help support you in that journey further. Without further ado, thank you so much for listening to this video. Until next time, we will see you in the upcoming video. Have a great day and all the very best with your book writing journey. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.